Hi everyone and welcome to Web Dev Tutorials. In this video we're going to make this landing page using HTML and CSS and a bit of JavaScript. And this page will contain an image on the top left, navigation on the top right, sliding from the side, a content on the left side, an image, background image, that's like a hero section. Just below we'll have services section, an about section with an image, testimonials, a blog, and the footer at the very end. And then at the end we'll make it responsive. Okay, so first thing we need are folders, the CSS, images, JavaScript, and the index.html file. So I've just made the basic setup here. I've linked my CSS, linked to my fonts from Google, and the JavaScript smooth scroll. So this one you can get from Google. Just go on Google and just search smooth scroll JS and just go for the first one, C Ferdinandi, and then you can download or just get the CDN link and just copy this script, and we post it at the end. So the first thing we need is the section with an ID of header. Within that we'll have container, now we'll include the logo, so just locate your logo. And then we create a div with a class of header content. That's going to be the h1, the paragraph, and the two buttons. Just to make it easy, I'm going to copy the content from here. This is going to be our h1 tag. Paragraph, going to put some breaks here, and the last one will be the button. So just type in button, give a class of btn1, and the second will be the same. Just rename it. And change to btn2. Just save it. Let's open. Okay, we got the content, logo. Let's go to our CSS style. So I've already put some settings here, so margin 0, padding 0, and the font we're going to use. So next thing, just locate the header, give a height of 80, viewport height, and then background image. Just locate your image. Give a background position to center and the background size, color. Next is the container. We give a margin 0 to 100 pixels. And we give here a class with name of logo, so we can style it. Just put logo, give a margin top 20 pixels and the width 180 pixels. Okay, next one is the header content. Give a max width of 350 pixels, margin top, give 150 pixels. Okay, let's see, refresh. Now we need to just style those things. So now we're gonna locate the h1, so header content h1. Let's change the font size to 34 pixels. Padding bottom 30 pixels, and then we're going to change the color. Okay, now is the paragraph. So p tag, color, and the line height 1.7. Save. Okay, now is the button btn1. Let's give padding of 12 pixels and 26 pixels. Give a border radius of 22 pixels, so it's rounding on the corners. Color white. Background color maybe we set outline to none, border to none, cursor to pointer, font size 16 pixels, margin right 14 pixels, and the margin top 20 pixels. So we're going to use the same settings for the other button as well, except we remove this, we don't need. Font size 16, that should be fine. Remove this as well. Change just this color so it's a bit different. Save it, refresh. Okay, nice. So now is the time for navigation. We're going to put the navigation here on the right, top right side. Go to index. So now we'll create a nav. With ID of navigation, and inside we'll have unordered list and then the list, and within the list we'll have a tags, just copy, paste it 5 times, or how many pages you will have. And just rename here. Okay, and then next is the images. So this images, so the opening and the closing one. So include your images. So we need to put a code which we're going to use for a JavaScript. So it will be on click open function, and then the ID of menu icon. That's going to be for opening one, and now it's for the closing one. It's the same on click, but now close function and ID of close icon. Okay, just save it. Now let's just put here, create another one. Navigation. So target the navigation ID. And let's give a width of 250 pixels, the height of 100 VH. So we give position of fixed, the right will be 0 for the moment, but then we're going to change. Top will be 0, background color the index will be 2, and we give transition of 0.4 seconds. Okay. Now let's target navigation. So nav ULLI list style none. So we'll remove the bullets. Margin 50 pixels, 20 pixels. Now we target nav ULLIA, so the links, text decoration none, color will be white. Now we just set some hover effect. Now let's style the icons. Menu icon is the opening icon, position will be fixed, width of 45 pixels, right will be 60 pixels, top 35 pixels, the index will be 2, and the cursor pointer. Okay, so we copy the same settings for the closing icon. We just rename here close icon. Except we're going to add a display none for the moment, because we don't need it now. So we're going to hide it, and we're going to change now on the JavaScript, so when we click it will come on, and when we click out it will go back. So for now we need to hide this 250. So now we go to HTML index. Now we're going to add some code here, just in the script tags, within the script tags. Okay, so we create a variable navigation. Now we target the navigation ID, and we give style right minus 250 pixels. Next is function open function, so the opening, and we target we're going to target again the navigation, the document, get element by ID, navigation, and we give style of right 0. Now we target the menu icon, and we give a style of display to none. So when we click it will bring the navigation, and it will hide itself the icon, and then it will show the closing icon. So close icon, and we give style display inline. Just save. Okay, working well. Now we need to set the closing function. So go again, function, close function, and just to make it faster, we'll just copy this code here, and then we're going just to change the values here. So we set here 250 pixels minus. The menu icon will come back, so inline, and then the closing one will hide. Save it. Okay, we have navigation working. Let's just check if we have everything set. 250 pixels. Just add the closing tag here. Nice. This none. Okay, now it's working well. Let's go back to the code. Now we're going to make this section here the services section. So I have a big image here for the background, which will going to fit 2 sections, and then another image, background image, will fit another 2 sections. So we put the background for 2. Okay, so just below here, Let's create the section with ID of bubble. That's going to be the background ID. And just inside here we'll have a div with an ID of services. Inside there we'll have h1 tag, which I'm going to copy. Just copy this paragraph as well. Then we'll have a p tag with a paragraph. Okay, and inside here we'll have another div with a class of services box. And then inside here we'll have another div with a class of box. Here we'll have the image or the icon. And let's give a class of box img. Then we'll have h2 tag. And the p tag. So paragraph. Just copy and paste it 2 times, and we just change the images. Save. Okay, we got them. So now we just need to style them. Just tidy up. Okay, so let's target the background. So bubble 1. Set the height to 150 VH. Margin top of 40 pixels. Top them. Yeah, just top. Background image. Dislocate it. Background position to center. Background size. That's background size. We'll put cover. Now we target the services ID. Just give padding of 50 pixels top and bottom, 0 left and right, and the text align will be center. Next is the services title. Change the color. Change the font size to 32 pixels. Text align center. Just do padding bottom 15 pixels. Next is the services. Now we're going to target the H2, so services ID and then H2. We change color. Font size 20 pixels. Font weight 400. And the padding top 20 pixels. Next is the paragraph. Change color. Font size will be 14 pixels. Padding bottom 22 pixels. Font weight 500. We give padding of 10 pixels, 20 pixels, and the last one will be line height 1.8. Save it. Now we need to style the boxes. Let's see this. We haven't got the color for h1 tag. Services title. I need to add the class. Forgot here. Save. Okay, we got the styling. Now let's target the services box. Just get the width of 65%. Margin auto. Display flex. Align items will be center. Justify contact space around. ID flex. Wrap will be wrap. And the last one, or before last, will be box. Height 305 pixels. Width will be 300 pixels. Border radius 10 pixels. Box shadow 003 pixels, and then CCC. Background color. And the margin will be 10 pixels and 15 pixels. The very last will be the image, so box img. Just add the padding top of 40 pixels. Let's check it. Okay, so now we have the services. Now we need the about section. So we go to index, and now we create. Let's create here the section with ID of about, and inside we'll have the div with a class of about left. Inside we'll have the image. Next we add another div with a class of about right. Inside here we'll have another div with a class of about content. Inside here we'll have the h1 tag. Just copy. Let's add the break. And we give class of, so we can use the same style we had on section, so section title. And just give left align. I'm going to create another styling for left alignment. Then we create a span and copy this, just paste in here. We have break. Just give a class of about p, and we add the button, so button class of btn1, so the one we created before. Now let's go and style it. First, let's see how it looks. So in center. So the ID of about. Just add padding of 80 pixels 0. Width of 70%. Margin will be auto. Display will be flex. Align item center and justify content center. No, actually justify content space around, and last will be flex wrap. Okay, now there's the image. So about left, width 90%, about left img. Actually, we could take this one, will be for image, and here we add flex basis of 50%. Okay, next is the about content and the about right. We add flex basis of 40%, and inside about content we'll have max width 400 pixels. Text align will be on the left side. Let's see. Okay, so we need to style that. So about P, change color. B3, 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 and left align, text align left. Okay, we just need to add another break here. And we need to give button name. And let's see, our title haven't got that style, so let's see if we put the right name, section, title. Actually, it is services title. Save. Okay, so we got two sections, services, about. Now we'll create another background for these two, so testimonials and about. So we create here section with ID of bubble2, and inside here we'll create another section with ID of testimonials. Inside here we'll have a h1 and we're going to use the same class, services title, and now we add div with a class of box content. And then inside here we'll have another div with the name of box2. Inside here we'll have the image. Just locate your image. And then we have h4 tag. Then another div with the name of line, actually line class. And the last one will be the paragraph, so this text here. Save it. Let's see. Okay, we got. And just below here we create another div with a class of dots, and inside we'll have another class with dot1. Just let's copy them. There will be that 3 dots. Just name this 2 and 2. There will be this 3 dots. Now let's go and style them. So let's target bubble 2. Set the height to 145 VH. And again we're gonna put the image for the background. Set the background position to center. The background size for cover. And we put a margin bottom of 40 pixels. Okay. Next is testimonials. Padding of 80 pixels and 0 left and right, and the text align center. Next is the H4. Change the color. Padding 10, top and bottom, left and right 0. Okay, next is the paragraph. Change font size to 14 pixels. Give a padding of 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Change the color. And the line height of, let's do 1.7. Save. Okay, so we're missing here something. Maybe okay. So we're missing our testimonials. Okay, we got the image. So now we're going to style the boxes. So target box 2. Give a height of 240 pixels. Width of 500 pixels. border radius will be 18 pixels. Add the box shadow. So we use the same style of box shadow. Then the background color will be same. Margin 0 auto, so we center line, and the padding top will be 20 pixels. Next is the box content. Add padding of 30 pixels, 0 pixels. Next is the line. There's this line here in the middle. Separator. So width 150 pixels, border bottom 3 pixels, solid, and add the color. And put the margin 0 auto. Okay, now is the small dots. So dots display will be inline flex. Justify content space around. Add a padding top of 20 pixels. And what else? Padding bottom 20 pixels. Save it. Now it's the second dot. So dot 2. Dot 1. Background color. Width 10 pixels, height 10 pixels, border radius 25 pixels, so it's rounded. Max width of max width 100 pixels. Margin right will be 10 pixels, and the cursor will be pointer. Copy, paste, and we're just going to change the color for the second one. Okay, so we had our dots. Now is the time for the last section, which is this one here. So let's go back. So now we create a section with ID of block, and inside we'll have the h1 tag. And we add the class of section title. I think it was services title. And within here we'll have another section, class of cards section. Inside we'll have another class with cards, and within this we'll have image. h4 tag. Just going to copy. Then we'll have the paragraph and the link. Okay, let's copy we'll paste it 3 times. Let's change the image. And then we need to add the dots as well here. So class of dots too. And inside we'll have another class of dot 2. And just change this to 1. Let's go and style it. So let's target now we're going to target the cars section. Add the padding, 30 pixels, 0 pixels, 40 pixels, and then 0. Width 70%. Margin will be auto. Display flex. Align items will be center. Justify content space around. And the flex wrap, just wrap. Okay, next is cards. Give a height of 360 pixels. We get width of 250 pixels. Change the border radius for the round 10 pixels. Box shadow of 0.03 pixels. CCC. Background color will be FFF, and the margin will be 10. Let's do 10 pixels, 10 pixels. Save. Let's see the changes. So now we need the cards. IMG. Give width 100%. Now let's style the H4, so block H4. Change the color. Font size 16 pixels. And we give padding of 7 pixels, 0, 7 pixels, and 10 pixels. Oops. And 10 pixels. Then we target the paragraph, so p tag. Change color. Font size will be 15 pixels, and we give padding of the same value, so 0, 7, 14, and 10 pixels. Next is the link, the color. heading, font weight will be 500, and the text decoration none. And let's just copy this for the hover. We just change the color. And the font weight to 600. Okay, now I need to just style the dots. So we target dots, display, inline, flex, margin, auto, display, flex. Actually, I have don't need this. Just justify content center, flex wrap, will be wrap. Okay, now is the time for the footer. So in the footer we'll have logo, we have links, we have some contact information, and the icons for social media. So let's go back here. So we create a section with ID of footer, and inside we'll have a class of footer1, so will be footer1, footer2, and footer3. So 4 columns. So in the first one, actually before that, we will create another class of footer content, and then we paste them here. So in the first one we'll have the image, so the logo, and in the second one we'll have the links, so UL, li, and the links. And on the third one we'll have the contact details. I have this contact details. So we put the icon, so before here we just need to add the span. We add the break. Let's just copy this. Copy 3 times. Now let's just copy the link, the text. And just change the images or the icons. Okay, now is the last one is the social media icons. So img images, so it will be LinkedIn. Just rename them. This will be for Twitter, this will be for Pinterest, this one Instagram, and the last one will be YouTube. Okay, I think we got everything set. Okay, now let's go and style them. Okay, so we go to target the footer ID, just give a background color of FA, give height of 220 pixels, give a padding of 20 pixels, 0, 30 pixels. Then we target footer content class, and here we set the width 80%, margin will be auto, padding 30 pixels, 0, 20 pixels, display flex, then justify content, space round, flex wrap will be flex wrap, align items flex start. Save. Now let's target the links. Should the links there. Let's get this one first. Okay, so footer 2 ULLI, and remove the list style to none. Padding bottom be 10 pixels, font weight, make it thick, and the color okay. Now with the footer 3, change the color, and the last one will be footer 4, the icons. Just give a padding of 0, 8 pixel, 8 pixel, and 8 pixel. Okay, so we have everything set. Now we just have to make it more responsive. Because it breaks when we go smaller. So we just add few values. So we create the media query now. So media, only screen, and so max width of 1540 pixels. Okay, so now here we need to play with the backgrounds we added. So bubble 1 and bubble 2. So we set the height to auto. Okay, so on this side it's working. So we need to change the padding here on the left side as well. So let's create another one for different size. This one will be for 768 pixels. And now we're going to change the container. We give a margin, I change the margin of 0 to 40 pixels. Next is the you want this menu icons to go a bit more up. So we target menu icon and the close icon. We change top to 25 pixels. Then we get the about, change the width to 80%, flex direction, columns reverse. So it reverse when it changes sides. Okay, it works. Next we change the about left. Let's just change the percentage of flex bases. Change it to 90%. And we change the image size. The width to 100%. That should be enough. Then about right, change flex bases to 80% as well. Then the about content, we change the max width to 90%. Yeah, 90%. Margin 0 auto. Padding bottom 40 pixels. And okay, so now the only thing we have problem is the footer. So let's add some values here. Target footer. Just change the height to 620 pixels. And the padding 20 pixels, 0, 30 pixels. The footer content width of 90%, so it's wider, and the flex direction column so it's not everything stuck in line, and the align item center. Okay, now let's just style the footer 1, footer 2, the footer 3. Just give padding bottom of 50 pixels. And the last one will be box 2. Change height. Let's see how it looks. Okay, that looks nice. So now we need to change this one. So the box 2 will be, height will be auto, width will be auto as well, and the border radius will be 18 pixels. Margin 10 pixels, 20 pixels, and the padding top 20 pixels. Save it. Okay, that's fine. Now let's change the cards. Margin bottom, just give some space, 20 pixels, and the padding bottom 20 pixels as well. The last one will be block. Margin bottom 60 pixels. Okay, that's perfect. So you can change different values for different font sizes. Just play with this values here, just make it smaller or bigger regardless of the size. Everything seems to be fine. So here we go, we are done with the landing page. So everything was done with HTML, CSS, and yeah, so even this one is working. Actually, let's see this, the smooth scroll. Let's just change this. This was about block, save. Okay, works now, works well. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on the video or subscribe if you find this video helpful. Thank you and see you next video. Bye.